Morning, students, and once again I welcome all of you to the English class for class 10th. Today we'll be dealing with the poem The Ball Poem, written by John Berryman. Now, the very title of the poem looks very easy, pretty amusing as to how can a poet think of writing on a common aspect like a ball. Everybody knows what a ball is. It's found in various shapes and sizes, and a lot of sports use it, be it tennis, be it lawn tennis, be it volleyball or basketball or hockey or cricket. We have variety of balls in the market made up of different materials. So uh, taking it on a different note, this poem is actually about a boy who loses his favorite asset, and that is a ball with which he was playing. And while he was walking down the street and he was playing with the ball suddenly slips out of his hands and it goes into a water body. Now, the water body hasn't been explained, so we can just presume it can be a small pond or a lake. The ball has drowned in that particular water body, and this boy is just standing on the shore of the lake, and he is very sad, he is very depressed that he has lost one of his favorite toys. Now, what happens therein? The poet imagines himself to be there along with the boy right there on that scene, and he is just standing next to the boy. He wishes to console him, sympathize with him, tell him that don't worry, since the balls are not that expensive. They are common toys available in every toy store, and they are available at a very cheaper cost, so that will not be a problem in compensating a new ball with the lost one. But he feels that it is not the very correct moment to empathize or sympathize with the boy, because the boy will not understand anything. He has lost something very dear to him, and now any good words, any sympathetic words, will not be helping him in any way. So the poet wishes not to disturb the boy. But in that particular short span of time, the poet realizes that he should also not disturb the boy, not because the boy will not understand, but because this boy, when he's going to grow up, he would have already learned a lesson, and the lesson is that things or people who stay with us sooner or later get lost. Meaning, things, they can be broken, they can be misplaced, and in terms of people, we generally lose them when they have a tragic death or a timely death. So this is the actual message the poet wants to state through this particular poem, the Ball Poem. Now let's have a quick summary and a little bit of talk on the poet. Now, John Berryman was an American poet and a scholar. He is best known for the Dream Songs that was published in 1969, which was a sequence of 385 poems. He's also got many awards. Among them, he had won a National Book Award. Now let's come to the quick summary of the poem. The poet, through his poem, has described the reality of life, which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. The poet talks about a little boy who has lost his ball. He was playing with his ball, it skipped from his hands and went into the nearby water body that we were just discussing a few minutes back. The poet says that this sight of the boy losing his favorite ball made him think about the boy and his reaction to that particular situation. He further says that the boy was helplessly looking into the water where his ball had gone. He was sad and was trembling with fear. It can be fear, it can be anxiety, it can be helplessness, any particular thing that leads to his trembling. He got so immersed in his sorrow that he kept standing near the shore for a very long time and kept on looking for his ball. The poet says that he could console him that he may get new balls, or he could also give him some money to buy another ball. But he stopped himself from doing so because he thinks that the money may bring a new ball but will not bring back the memories associated with the ball of the child. He further says that the time has come for the boy to learn about his responsibilities. Here, the poet wants to say that now the boy will learn the toughest lesson of life, the lesson of accepting the harsh realities of life, that one day, sooner or later, he will lose his loved ones or his loved things. So this comes to be out to be the summary. The boy at the time is on the verge of realizing that sooner or later the things or the people that are very, very important in his life will be losing out, will be lost in the course of time permanently from his sight. Now let's come to the paraphrasing. Since it's a long poem and it doesn't have stanzas, right? So I have just bifurcated the poem into lines. So we'll take the first four lines. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. The poet here talks about the boy who has lost his ball. He wants to know about him and his reaction because he has lost his ball. Meaning, what will the boy do now? He has lost his favorite ball, his favorite toy. What is going to do now? And the poet says he has been a witness. He has seen the boy merely bouncing it, the ball happily in his hands, down the street, and while he was so happy running after the ball went into the water. So this means that when the ball skipped from boy's hand, it went straight into the water. Let's move to the next few lines. Lines 5 to 11. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. Dime actually means 10 cents. Dime, kind of currency, which means 10 cents in American or US dollar. Now here, the poet says that there is no benefit, no point in consoling or sympathizing and telling the boy by saying that he will get another ball, because the boy is feeling very, very low. He's feeling very, very sad. He is completely surrounded by sorrow. He is sad because all the memories of his childhood days have gone along with the ball. Here, the poet says that the boy is very sad, as the ball which has now gone into the water reminds him of those sweet memories of the times when he owned it. This loss is unbearable for the little boy at that moment, and he is very much annoyed and depressed. The poet says that he cannot even tell the boy to take some money from him in order to buy another ball. He says so because the new ball will not bring the sense of belongingness to the boy. Further, the poet says that the time has come for the boy to learn the responsibility of taking care of his things. Now we come to line number 12 to 19. In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of loss, how to stand up knowing that every man must one day know, and most know many days, how to stand up. Right? Now, here, the poet says that the boy has to learn that in this materialistic world, many of his belongings will be lost forever. He personifies the ball as his belonging, as his possession in this world, but be it the worldly things or the relationships that he has. So he says that he has to learn to live without things and people. And this is the bitter reality of life. He says no one can buy back such things for him, the memories especially connected to things or to people. The poet said so because, according to him, money cannot buy everything. If it does buy you some materialistic thing, still it will not be able to buy the sense of belongingness or the memories that the things and the people held for the particular child. This means that the boy is trying to learn the harsh reality or truth of life, which states that you have to accept the miseries of life and stand up again, meaning you have to face your difficulties and go back to your normal stage. You cannot just sit in one corner feeling depressed and lose out on the greatest opportunities that you have in your present time. This is what the poet wishes to say. This is the truth which everyone has to learn in his life sooner or later. The harsh truth of standing up against the old miseries, troubles, anxieties of life that everyone has to bear sooner or later. This is what your poet has to say about the particular poem. The message: a person should be able to adapt his or herself to the present situation, no matter what it is. There's always a silver lining when the darkest days surround you. So, here, with the help of this small example of a little boy losing his favorite toy and then standing there and watching the ball never to be found again for many minutes, many hours, we would say, as the poet explains, or as an eyewitness to this particular incident, the child indirectly learns a lesson of his life, that lesson that's going to stay with him till eternity or forever. And that is, we need to be mentally prepared about things and people that will come and go in our lives. Instead of feeling attached to things and people, let us attach ourselves more to their affection, more to their memories, right? Instead of feeling attached to a commodity that is lifeless, let's get attached to people who will be showering their love and blessings on us. This is what the poet wishes to convey through this particular poem, The Ball. Now let's come to the poetic devices. One is imagery, where you can actually, while you read, you can imagine a boy playing with the ball. He's bouncing the ball and find the ball goes and it's there inside the pond. Repetition, the words what and what repeated. Then alteration, as I've already told you, when two consonant sounds are repeated consecutively in a line given. Now, coming to the rhyming scheme. I hope you already know, I have already explained to you very well what rhyming scheme is. When the last two words of the lines given consecutively are or alternatively are rhyming or have the same sound. Now, since if we go back to the entire poem, we'll come to know that there is no rhyming. Ball, it, then, water, then we move to balls, boy, down, where, him, now, ability, possession, stake, boy, external, eyes, up, now, up, right? We cannot take up and up as rhyming scheme because they are the same words, right? But they are rhyming. Here, the problem is different. There is no rhyming scheme throughout the poem, as you've already seen. So, a poem that doesn't have a rhyming scheme is referred to as a blank verse. That is, without any rhyming scheme. This is all you need to know in the rhyming scheme for this particular poem. Thank you.